oppression. They don't believe that the black man should have PTSD. They don't believe that we should have PTSD. They think that we just strong. We're supposed to just take everything that comes our way. All of the crimes and all of the, the things that have happened to our people, man, well, we shouldn't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be, go crazy. We shouldn't have these drug addictions. We shouldn't, all of the rape and robbery that didn't happen to our people, man. Well, we shouldn't worry about that. We're supposed to forget about it. It's supposed to roll off of our shoulders.
If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon.
Notice, man, there was a man over here, right, just a minute ago. There was a man over here, and all he was talking, he was trying to come up against the things that we're talking about over here. All right, first of all, the first thing he said when he walked over here, and I want you to pay attention, you blacks and you Hispanics, I want y'all to pay attention to what I'm finna say. All right, this white man just came over here, right? The first thing he said was that, you all are not Jews and Christ is not a nigger. That's what he said. He said if we think that we Jews, then that means that Christ must be a nigger too. He said, well, Christ is not a nigger. That's what he just said. That white man just came over there and said that to us. All right. And then the more he talked, he said, man, the reason why y'all are in the conditions that y'all are in, when he said y'all, it means, the niggers, well, because we don't vote. He said that we don't vote. He said he's the most liberal person, liberal-minded person, that we have probably ever met. And I want y'all to pay attention to that, because blacks and Hispanics, they traditionally, vote Democrat. All right, they vote for liberals. They liberal-minded. All right, and this man said he's the most liberal person that we ever met. And on top of saying that, he said that Christ is not a nigger, and we don't believe that that we are who we say we are. How can I, pay attention to a people, or vote for a people with that kind of ideology? How can we vote for somebody who think that kind of, think of white supremacy? He got the mind of white supremacy, a white supremacist, man. He came over here with a white supremacist attitude, with a white supremacist look on his face, trying to tell us what we need to say and what we need to do, and tell us that we don't have a right to stand on this corner and say the things that we say, like we don't pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? And like we don't, do the same things that he doing. You know what I'm saying? Like our ancestors and our family members ain't died in the same wars and fought in the same wars that his ancestors had. Like we don't have a right. And that's a white supremacist mindset. When he come over here trying to tell us what we need to do and how we need to be quiet when he tell us to be quiet. Well, I don't think he understands who we are. And I'm going to repeat myself. We the I.S.U.P.K. out of Harlem, New York, and we ain't scared of no white supremacists. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never ran from a white supremacist in our life. And we're going to come over here and we're going to tell the truth. And we don't give a damn who want to hear and who don't want to hear. And we just going to tell the truth because God wants us to tell the truth about the things that we're talking about. And one of the things, man, I want to talk about today is mental health, man, and how blacks and Hispanics, man, we have mental health issues, man. We got a lot of mental health issues, man, and it's due to the oppression that we've endured over here in America. All right, give me Ecclesiastes 7:7. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 7. And what we go through over in America, man, it has caused us to, the ramifications of slavery, y'all will never understand. Y'all will never understand what our people, how they play a major part in the way that we are today, man. And the oppression that we endure, man, and how we aren't getting any help for the oppression that we've endured, or for all of the years and years and years on top of years of the oppression that we've endured over here in America, man. Nobody seems to care about the black man when it comes to dealing with our mental health issues, or when it comes to our Hispanic brothers dealing with their mental health issues, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know the Hispanics. I'm gonna give you all an example too. The Hispanics, they come over here, some of them come across the border illegally, right? And you would say, that's a crime, they shouldn't do that, all right? But y'all don't understand the things that they are enduring in their country to come over here and endure doing the same thing, if not worse, over here. And the role and the trip that they have to take to get over here. That alone, is something that's terrible, man. And, they got Hispanic babies in cages. You dig what I'm saying? They got to see their family members in cages. These babies in cages over here on the border, man. Nobody care about that. Nobody care about the ramifications and all of the, mental health issues that they dealing with when they got to see their children locked up in cages, man, because they want to give them a better life. Because they think that coming over here in America will be better than for them to stay over in Mexico, or Guatemala, or wherever it is that they traveling from. And they have to come over here and endure so much heartache and pain over here in America, man. They got to endure so much oppression over here in America, man. And then they resort to doing drugs. And then they resort to drinking heavily. Just think of the Native Americans, man. The Native Americans got to wake up in the morning and see that they had a country that was theirs, man. And, the buffalo ran free. You know what I'm saying? And all of the things that they was, had that the Lord had gave them, man, over in this country that was theirs. And it was taken away from them. And then they put them on plantations, man. They put them on reservations. Put them on little small patches of land, man, and told them to stay there and don't move. And then they, sitting over there on these reservations, man, and they just drinking. They drinking because they got to wake up and look around and see how, these white people have destroyed the country that they lived in. Have destroyed the country that they loved, man. You know what I'm saying? Where the buffalo ran free. Well, guess what? The buffalo don't run free no more. He damn near extinct. You know what I'm saying? Because of the greed and all of the oppression, that they have done to the land, and on top of the land, and that they've done to, the people. And, they got a thing called Thanksgiving coming up where they celebrate every year the mass murder of Native Americans, man. They celebrate the mass murder of Native Americans, man. And Native Americans got to wake up on the fourth Thursday of November to find out, man, that these people are celebrating their death, man. They celebrating it, man. And you sit around eating, cranberries. You sit around eating turkey and dressing, in celebration of the death of Native Americans, man. You do what I'm saying? That will make anybody oppressed, man. Depressed. That makes people depressed when they gotta live and wake up and think of that, man. Of a country that used to be theirs, man, and then they see how it's raped and robbed and destroyed, man. Now, that makes people that make them depressed, man. Black people, we gotta wake up in the projects. You do what I'm saying? I'm from Nashville, man. I came out of Baptist Hospital, man, into Joe Johnson housing projects. I know a lot of y'all ain't from Nashville. So y'all don't know nothing about Joe Johnson housing projects. John Henry Hill. In other words, John Henry Hill. Y'all don't know nothing about John Henry Hill. Well, I came out of the hospital, man, and when I finally opened my eyes out of the hospital, I was living in the projects. You do what I'm saying? There's a lot of people just like me, man, that woke up, man, and woke up in the projects, man. You know what I'm saying? And we had to endure that, man, because our people are poor and we were subjugated to living in these conditions. Why was we, you think about it, you be like, man, what did I do to deserve this? What have I done to, have to be in a certain area, man, because of the color of my skin? You do what I'm saying? That was how it was when I was coming up. You dig what I'm saying? And the scripture, man, talks about it, man. Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
It said oppression will make you go mad, man. You wondering why a lot of our people, man, have these mental health issues, man, because they've been depressed and oppressed their whole life, man. You wonder why they have these drug issues, man, because our people have been oppressed, man, and they depressed. Wonder why the Native Americans are sitting on a reservation drinking their life away, man, because they are depressed from being oppressed. That's what goes on, man. And a lot of people, don't want to deal with our oppression. They don't believe that the black man should have PTSD. They don't believe that we should have PTSD. They think that we just strong. We're supposed to just take everything that comes our way. All of the crimes and all of the, the things that have happened to our people, man, well, we shouldn't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be, go crazy. We shouldn't have these drug addictions. We shouldn't, all of the rape and robbery that didn't happen to our people, man. Well, we shouldn't worry about that. We're supposed to forget about it. We're supposed to roll off of our shoulders. No, we're supposed to be a strong person. They teach our sisters to be strong black women. Well, you know what that means, to forget about all of the stuff that done happened to you and be strong. Well, guess what, man? We got feelings too. We got feelings too. We got emotions too. We human. So we go through things too. Because we being oppressed over here in America. Read it again.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
And oppression gonna make anybody mad, man. I remember I asked this white dude one time, man. I said, man, when he knew history, right? So he knew how America was formed. He knew that America came, the so-called founding fathers of America. Well, they left from over in England, right, from the British. All right, you know why they left from over to the British? Because they was getting oppressed. Even white people understand this. But some reason when it comes to us, nobody seems to understand. But when white people was getting oppressed over by the British, well, they had to come over to America. They ran from the British to come over here to America, man, to try to build and have a better life for themselves. Because they was being oppressed by the British. All right? And so they had to get themselves away from the oppressor in order to be able to have a thriving society. Well, when we talk about, we need to separate ourselves from white people, everybody look at me like I'm a racist. When we've been getting oppressed over here in America for 400 years. But when I say we need to separate ourselves from the oppressor, the same way that the founding fathers separated themselves from the British, well, now all of a sudden I'm a racist bastard. Now all of a sudden I'm a racist bastard. When I talk about how the so-called Jewish man had to separate themselves from the Germans, and have, start their own country, because the Germans were oppressing them, well, everybody understands that. Everybody seems to get it. It makes sense. Why don't the Jewish people leave and get away from the Germans from being oppressed? But when black people say, man, we need to get away from white people because we've been oppressed for 400 years, well, now all of a sudden I'm a racist bastard now. Don't nobody understand why I feel this way.
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life.
You don't receive her what? Her planet in the I.S.U.P.K. We ain't worried about the coronavirus. How many of us do you see with masks on? Right. How many of us do you see out here afraid with gloves on?
140 for the rebel.
The world turned its back on me. I'm a crippling. We got soldiers. He got soldiers, but I got
Don't
different
sit here and talk shit
I
like
tell
what's
you
gonna
what,
pop out. What's gonna do this? If you gonna cross the line, cross the fucking line. Otherwise, get the fuck out of here. Right.
Please, forgive me for the time that I did. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice.
Nosotros somos una nación. Nosotros somos la misma gente. Nosotros.
El mundo sepa que nuestros hermanos negros y hermanos moranos ya no estarán separados, pero se unirán para hacer grandes cosas por todas las 12 tribus peredas de Israel. Juan Yasha'al.